All right, good morning. A little bit better weather this morning in central New York, and we are humidity free. Using the microphone on the computer, my mother's little deck table is glass, and I'm not taking a chance of ruining that. The microphone comes with a little vise that connects to the desk. Not screwing that up. So I think you should be able to hear me. Shouldn't be a problem. I didn't see a whole lot of news yesterday, LSU or the Cajuns, right? We still haven't had JJ Redick was announced as the coach for the Lakers. Maybe Glasgow announcement came after that. Maybe it came a day after that. They still haven't announced. Well, they have announced Jerry Glasgow, but they haven't had a press conference yet. I find that odd. I know there's not a lot going around, no one's around these schools these days, but it is what it is. So championships galore. Last night I was actually doing the G5 Hive podcast. Baseball game was already underway. Tennessee jumped out on top. Christian Moore. They led 6-1. I don't know if does it hurt more that you lose 6-5. Like if you get up in the morning, you lost 6-1. Okay, we got beat. But now are you starting to think of every pitch? And A&M did some A&Ming. I mean, that is. I know it's not a big lead, but in game 2, they led 1-0 with 7 outs to go. With 2 outs in the 7th inning, they led 1-0. Excuse me. They never led again. Although I will say, I think those were the 2 best teams in the country this year. When we saw that, when the Cajuns went up there, and they're pretty good. And am I getting bit by mosquitoes? Oh, that's a mosquito. And Braden Montgomery banged up, and they still made it to the last game of the college baseball season. I know it's disappointing, but in my book, if you get to play in the final game of the college baseball season, you've had a really successful season. I mean, I don't care who you are, all right? And all these teams are dealing with injuries, right? Even last year's LSU team, right? I made a bet because I didn't think they had enough pitching. Lost a bottle of Blanton's. The pitching came together in the SEC, and Dylan Cruz is playing in Rochester now. I'm going to get to see him on Thursday. And my buddy Josh Wetzel, the broadcaster, asked, where did he hit in the LSU lineup? I thought it was leadoff because that's where I remember hitting. He hit third all season long. SEC is when he went to, or he hit third all season long. Not until the SEC tournament did he hit leadoff. Did they change the lineup up? So, talk about a roller coaster kind of a season. The Vols are good. What can you say? I know a lot of people don't like Tony Vitello. It's quite the story. Some things were overshadowing this thing yesterday, right? Texas, which, the guys in Texas knew that David Pierce was gone. They asked him right after the Cajuns beat him, right? You'd expect to be back next season. And, that was a fait accompli. Kendall Rogers was in the room. Danny Davis from the Austin Statesman was in the room. A bunch of media were in the room. And this was not a surprise to anyone. It did take the better part of a month for it to happen. Although, you go on Twitter and you find out that it's not really a surprise when they announced it, right? Like the Longhorns did it on purpose, and who knows if this is true. Some plane allegedly from Austin, Texas went to Omaha. And so the Vitello rumors are out there. Jim Schlossnagle rumors are out there. And, there's ways to handle this and there's ways not to. And I did not like the way that Schlossnagle handled it. You can't say, I know you have to ask me the question and then get pissed when you ask the question. You can just handle it. No. He could have said the same thing, but with a little bit of class. It was the last question asked. And obviously it's a tough spot, but it's not like the reporter was making the rumors up. They were out there. They've been out there, right? They were they were in College Station when then when Pierce was supposedly getting fired a month ago. So this is not anything new. And it's because he worked for the Texas AD. So you just ask it. And I guess college A&M fans are all jacked up because the way they answered it. But he could just, I know you got to ask it, but here's my answer. I left my family to do this job. I'm staying. He didn't actually say staying with the job. He said everything that he did. He didn't exactly say staying for the job. All right. Was it Peter Burns who put it out there? Someone put it out there. Last time the Texas job was open, eight coaches got raises, including Paul Maneri at LSU. There was a moment where they thought that Texas could go after Jay Johnson. And, I know someone put this out there. It's Texas baseball. We need to slow that down a little bit. I certainly don't want to poo-poo this, but I mean, Texas. Okay. I looked this up yesterday. They are the winningest college baseball program ever. Okay. And they've been to the College World Series a bunch this century. Not including 2000. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11, 14, 18, 21, and 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay. They've won it twice. Okay. They have 2 national championships in 40 years. I know it's hard, but that's not, this is not exactly UCLA. They won one in 83. The next one they won it was 2002. So that was almost 20 years. Then they won 2005, and they haven't won one since. They were runner-up in 09. I got myself in a tussle with, these blue bloods and everything like this, like Arizona baseball. I mean, it was good at one point in time, but it's not now. Like, it was a blue blood, right? They've won once since 86. They have 4 national championships. Now, they had a good run from 76 to 86, but they won once in 2012. And they lost to Coastal in 2016. Now, I'm not exactly sure Arizona's the blue blood that people think that they are. I mean, I guess the standard, maybe those were the standards back in the day, but obviously LSU set the standard in the 90s. And we've seen how the sport has grown. So it's, even LSU, they only have 2 national championships since when, right? I mean, 09 and last year, right? But since Maneri, right? Yeah, so they had that run 91, 93, 96, 97, 2000. So they won 5. And then they've only won 2 since, right? And they've been to a bunch of World Series. They were the runner-up to Florida in 17. But it's so even. And now the way NIL is going to do it, it's not dominant. I mean, you could take my Syracuse Orange. When I was growing up, and even after that, for 2 decades, the Final Four was the lacrosse Final Four, not basketball, baseball. The lacrosse Final Four was like the Syracuse Invitational. Right? Anything less than a Final Four for Syracuse was bad. And now, Denver is playing for national, Denver. I saw Syracuse lose. I think I saw them lose to Rutgers in Rutgers. I think that was for the national championship. I think it was on a Monday. Yeah. I'd have to go back and check. But I'm not sure about these blue bloods. So we'll see. So you got these rumors of, Tony Vitello is going to get paid in an inordinate amount to stay there. I mean, why would he leave? Why would he go to Texas? Because it's Texas? What does that mean? Isn't Tennessee now, right? I mean, is there a better program in the nation than Tennessee baseball? I understand it, that was their first national championship, but this is the guy who's built it. I'm moving, shaking the table. Why would you leave that? I don't understand. Is he going to get more money? Sure. Apparently, he's already got a contract waiting for him. Is he going to get a little bit more now? Yeah, I don't understand why we think that the grass is greener on the other side. I don't understand that. I don't get it. And Jim Schlossnagel's going to leave? What does Texas offer him that A&M doesn't? Right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. I could see moving from TCU to A&M, although that's probably for more money. I guess the money is it, but boy, we'll see. We'll see who gets the gig. A lot of pressure, right? Because now you're coming in. Now I got a B staring at me. I'm probably annoying him. Yeah, some of these places are built, right? Like, why are you leaving? I get the whole Paul Maneri thing, going to Texas and Florida. Saban did that. You just go get more money. Where are you going? I do not get that. All right, so Tennessee with the championship, A&Ming. I mean, it would be a thing. Talk about A&Ming. Did I make that up? A&Ming. You lose. You're leading 1-0 in the 7th inning in game 2 of the best-of-3 series, and you lose the tournament and potentially your coach. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere, but that would be some serious A&Ming. Goodness. And Texas and Oklahoma are going to find out what SEC baseball is like. It is. There are not too many bottom feeders like you may have in Big 12. Let me see what the Big 12 standings are like. We are hitting Orange Theory here, so we'll finish up somewhere around before 8:30. It really only takes me 5 minutes to get there. It's I wouldn't say on the other side of town, but just 5 minutes away. Let's see here, Big 12 standings. Right? I mean, Florida was bad. They were bad in the SEC, and we end up finding how good they are. Big 12 baseball standings. Let's see what we got here. All right. The bottom. I mean, Baylor, Houston, and BYU. Texas Tech. TCU. I mean, you're not going to have too many gimmies. Let's see what the SEC was. SEC baseball standings. I mean, like LSU was on the bottom of the thing for a bit, right? Let's see. I mean, Florida's 13 and 17, so Missouri's not great. They're actually under. They're bad, 23 and 32. Auburn wasn't very good this year, but they were good a couple years ago. And who knows? I mean, the bottom has fallen out of Ole Miss, right? And Alabama had a losing record overall, but were tough at home. Yeah, you just don't have. You got a couple of cupcakes in there, but that doesn't seem to be like the Big 12. So we'll see what happens there, and coaching dominoes. And we're going to blame the players for leaving. Kind of odd, that whole. Is that true? All the Campbell players, their coach took a new job. Where did he go? Did he get the Indiana State job? Campbell baseball. Oh, no. Okay. This spun. Campbell baseball program loses nearly entire roster to transfer portal. All right. Oh, he left. Justin Hare left for Ohio State. All right. Now, I don't know. I say if that's how you say his name. I don't have an answer for that. Right. So for the first time, the coaches can leave when they want to and break their contracts. Make sure we understand that, right? If the players end up getting contracts, are they going to be able to break their contracts? And what's the stipulation in that, right? You can't have a buyout if you're a player. You don't have that kind of cash. The coaches break their contract all the time. And so now, these guys went into the portal. If they hire a coach, maybe they hire an assistant coach. I don't have any idea. But I bet you they get some of those guys back. Let's see here. June 24th. That was yesterday. On Friday, Ohio State, this was last Friday, Ohio State hired Justin Hare as its new head coach after 17 years at Campbell. Since the announcement, multiple players from the private Christian school in North Carolina have entered the portal. They listed the players. It's unclear if Southern Union assistant coach John Jeans was being facetious when he said 30 Campbell players have hit the portal since the Buckeyes hired Hare. Either way, the new coach will have a lot of work to do this offseason. All right, so it's not all 30, but I don't have an answer for that. Right? You commit to the school and not to the coach. The coach is free to do what he wants. For the first time, the players are, free to do what they want. And they should be able to. It's really disappointing when it hits your team. It really is. You root for them, you support them, probably feed them if you're in that hometown, right? Now, let me see the Jerry Glasgow thing. Has he been? Are we waiting for a press conference here? Jerry Glasgow, Texas Tech, because I want to see his salary. On Thursday, he was named Thursday, June 20th. Okay, so we got the Circle. Oh, someone did a podcast up to be introduced, and I'm going to listen to a video. Let me see what. These Tom relentless. It hurts. All right, let's see what we got here. Well, okay, so we're supposed to do this Monday. That was Channel 15 in Lafayette. Not sure I see that yet. All right, I haven't seen. Have we seen that yet? I don't know. I do not see it here. Let me see. No, I don't see it yet. So I'm waiting for his contract is what I'm waiting for. All right, last night, excuse me, at the same time that the baseball game was going on, so was the hockey game. Again, tough night to do a football podcast. And I'll retweet it when it comes out. Had a great time talking with Luke and Justice about the Cajuns. Hopefully I got a lot of that stuff right. But yeah, the baseball game on first and the hockey game. And by the way, can I tell you, Eastern time zone is for the birds. That was something. I mean, the hockey game wasn't over until like 11, just before 11:30. Maybe not. It was certainly after 11. Yeah, that is something. Yeah, Art's saying that. Yeah, Art was watching. Great game last night. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers. So I covered the Panthers, not for a season, working for WQAM in Miami, just going to the games and getting sound. George Richards has been the beat writer for one publication or another for the past, well, I guess 20 years. I don't know when it was, but he was there. He taught me a lot. And they were just not very good. At the time, they were always trying to find that eighth spot. They were always trying to get in there, and they'd get hot just to get into the mix and usually fall short. Somewhere in there, they made the playoffs. And they had a good series against the Devils. Like, they won a couple of games against the Devils, but it didn't have. Pete DeBoer was the coach. Very nice man. And my guy, K-Raj, who's come on my show a bunch to talk about gambling. He's still doing pregame. He was doing pregame back then. Steve Goldstein has been in South Florida forever. He's a native New York City kid and went to Syracuse and has been in South Florida forever. Does the Olympics for hockey. He's been their TV voice for a long time. I've known Steve, and I think Doug Plagans, is that how you say his name? I think Plagans did Syracuse hockey here. Yeah. So they're champions. So that's good to see. And then the whole Levitar, this funny thing where Greg Cody said it was Mick overrated. I did not realize that he didn't have a good game 6, and he did not have a good game 7. I will say this, though. So we talk about flukiness in sports. Basketball is less fluky. Football is certainly less fluky, right? So when you have a helmet catch, ouch, too soon, it's huge. Whereas in baseball, you see fluky things almost happen every game, right? A bad bounce, a flare, a bloop, a bleeder, whatever Crash Davis said, right? I mean, you can hit one off the end of the bat and the center fielder gets a bad jump on it because he took a step and a half back because it looked like you crushed it, right? You can, make a great pitch off the fists and the third baseman has to charge it and either has no play or can't field it barehanded, right? That's baseball. That happens all the time. Well, obviously it happens all the time in hockey too, right? That redirect on the first goal, come on. That thing's going, 3 or 4 feet past the goalie to his left, and he redirected it, and it went past the goalie to his right. That's fluky, right? I mean, the Edmonton almost scored a goal off of the Panthers' ankle, right? It hit his ankle and could have caromed in, but didn't. And then the winning goal got past Panthers' Bob and was going into the goal. Kulikov somehow got it out of the crease. And then they raced down and got the winning goal. That's crazy. That's nuts. How and then all the opportunities, like McDavid missed, numerous opportunities. I mean, Bob lost his footing a couple of times. He got knocked into by one of his own players, got up, fell back down again, lost his stick. I mean, that's nutty on how fluky that game is. And compared to, and again, different question, different situation, and just a brutal thing that you got to do. But everybody knows, and you're well compensated for it. You got to answer a couple of questions for TV afterwards. And Chris Knobloch was very gracious with that. And obviously, it's not a grilling on. I'm not exactly sure what he could do. I guess what happened to what happened to McDavid. Ray. That's somebody different. What happened to McDavid in Game 6 and Game 7? And then it's a great turnaround for Edmonton, right? They were 31st in the league, and again, if you play in the final game of your season sports, you've had a successful season, and obviously that it hurts because they were dominating the Panthers. I mean, it just wasn't close, and I like what Paul Morey said. He's like, I think he told Van Pelt this after the game. He's like, win or lose, we were competing. After that first period, I knew we were competing. And they basically doubled, McDavid throughout the whole game. So, win or lose, and I knew we were doing what the game plan was. All right. And you see how, fluky these goals are. And Bobrovsky was on the ice numerous times. And that's awesome. Again, my aunt lived right around the corner from there. Her daughter's husband won a few bucks betting on the Panthers for the Stanley Cup. If he had some cojones, he could have put the newborn through college, but he used a bonus bet. Congratulations to him. So it was a lot of fun. And again, just all the guys that I know down there cover the team. You can go back, I make fun of A&M, but what Billy Lucci has built with Tex Ags, I didn't realize how long it's been around. That is not something that is brand new, right? He was there when Manziel was there. So that's over a decade. My guy Gabe Bach. And again, I was told you I was so disappointed on how everybody was so nice in College Station. I wanted them to be, cocky jerks, and they weren't. Everybody was outstanding. I may have run into that Volunteers pitcher's girlfriend. There was somebody wearing a sweatshirt. I can't remember, and I think she's in a booth where it's freezing because, it was just brutally hot out. I don't know if I did or not. And so you root for the, I'm not nearly a Volunteers fan and not any sort of Panthers fan, but you're happy for the people who are happy. I guess that's, that's very cool. Right. And Mike Ryan's been rooting for this team forever. I guess he had an internship then and worked for him when he was a kid. That's pretty cool. Right. That's pretty cool. Paul most wins in NHL history before winning a cup. Cool for him. I wondered if he took a minute. I got to go back and listen to what he told Van Pelt. How does his life change? And, you go back to the Dean Smith quote, and I think he told this to Roy Williams, because he had numerous losses before Jordan sinks the jumper against Georgetown. And he told Roy Williams, I'm the same coach I was yesterday. Nothing has really changed. All right. I'm still a pretty good coach. And if I had lost this game, I'd still be a pretty good coach. I get to have named champion with me. So, and Panthers have had a pretty good run for a couple of years, right? They lost to Vegas last year, and now they win the Stanley Cup this year. So pretty good. All right. So we'll see if that try to keep up with the Glasgow presser whenever that is. And I need to look at that. There is a video of why he took the job. I'm still trying to figure that out. And again, it's going to come off. It does come off as disrespectful. I understand that. And I don't mean to, but is Texas Tech like the worst Power 5 program in America? I don't know. I mean, maybe my Orange. They were pretty good a couple years ago. More than a couple years ago. But and then their coach married Dan Dakich. So I guess he met her through his trip to Syracuse for basketball. So we'll try to keep up with that. See if anyone. I didn't see anybody else leaving Cajun softball, and Cajun softball has to hire somebody. You would think that would be done here sooner rather than later. Let's see. It's still only 7:22. I did not see a Foot put something out there. No, not yet. So I have not seen anything yet. What is the plan? Oh, so we have a couple plans today. Still going to Orange Theory. Going to the Y. I'm going to lift twice in 2 days. Not the original plan. But then my mom's got a class that I'm going to do. It's for seniors, which I'm not that far away from, as it turns out. And then I think I'm getting a mani-pedi, which I've never had. I've had one manicure in my life. I've never had a pedicure, but what the heck. And then I think we're going to go out. My family has a lake house about 20-25 minutes outside of town, so go do that. Still haven't seen too many friends since I've been here. I'm going to Rochester on Thursday. And of course, to the surprise of nobody, I found there's a bourbon distillery in Rochester, New York. Who knew? Black Button Distillery. I found this yesterday. There's a cask strength bourbon. Let's see here. It is Black Button Distilling cask strength bourbon whiskey. It was $50, 119 proof. I saw some reviews online, but they were reviewing like the 2-year-old whiskey. This is 4-year-old, so it's going to be a little bit better. But we'll probably do that. I'm not counting on speaking with Dylan Cruz. I don't know Dylan. He was kind enough to come on my show when he was in Harrisburg, but he's not going to know who I am. So it's not like, hey, great to see you again. No, that's not the way that's going to work. Although I could look if there's anybody else that I know on the two teams that, I don't think so played for the Cajuns. Either one. All right, I got to go to Orange Theory. We'll get that in, and then I'm going to be a new man with a mani-pedi later today. That's going to be fun. Thanks so much for tuning in. We are getting, like 56 live, 50, over 50 live. It is consistent. My former station is going to mornings, so maybe they are doing that for me. That Jory Holberg in the morning. I mean, I think it's great what they did. I guess I didn't address that. I guess I could have. Dawson is getting a 1-3 show. Dawson, fumbled the ball on that one. I don't know how that came about. Dawson should be going 7-9. That's the job that you want. You don't want 1-3. You're young. You can wake up in the mornings. And not even waking up that early in the morning. That's the show that you wanted. You wanted the morning drive. That's what you wanted. If they're asking Dawson which one he wanted, I know it's a quick turnaround if you're covering baseball games or basketball games or midweek football games, but you're young, you can do it. You should have gotten it. So they are going in the mornings. One of the reasons I started the Schultz Cast, there was no local Cajun show. Now there is. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is episode 64, and you can go back and look. Not very many people watching, but now almost every, at least on Twitter, I got to transfer that to YouTube. At least on Twitter, I'm getting 122 views. It's not working on YouTube quite yet the way I would like to. So we need to figure out why that is. Maybe just do it on YouTube. Tweet it out that it's on YouTube. That could be. But we're starting to build an audience just to begin with. So you can do like 100 here and then maybe shift it because the YouTube is where the money is. What little of it might come my way. All right. We've almost done 30 minutes. I got to get to Orange Theory. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. We are enjoying the humidity-free. It's supposed to be in the high 80s today, but it is absolutely gorgeous out here on Mama Schultz's deck. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.